Inland Sports.
And now join us here on the Inland Sports Show. He is the new head coach of the Paloma Valley Wildcats football team, but obviously very familiar with the program. It is Juan Merida. And Coach, first off, I just want to say congratulations on the gig at Paloma Valley. I think of you as a Paloma Valley guy, so to be the head coach of the football team just makes sense to me now. But what was it, what went into the decision making of going back to Paloma and being the head coach?
Well, Pep, thanks for having me on and, on short notice and reaching out to me and all that. I appreciate it. It just made sense at this time. I've been coaching at TV for 5 years for football, but I've never stopped coaching track at Paloma. I've had those athletes come through the program, and just the timing of everything worked out with my family, first off, being ready to step into that head role. And, the new AD did a lot of work and we went back and forth and we agreed on a bunch of stuff and everything just seemed to fall into place to do it at this time.
Obviously, if there's other football coaches watching this interview, they totally get it. But if a casual football fan, they might not understand that being the head coach is so time consuming. And now high school football is year round. You're always in the weight room or doing 7-on-7. Like, I just feel like there's always something. And like you said, you got to have your whole family on board, right? They have to all be like, okay, we understand this commitment that you are making as being the head football coach. But it sounds like you got the clearance from the boss, your wife, I'm sure, to do this.
Yeah, for sure. We did sit down with the entire family. I have my wife and my 3 daughters at home, have an older son away at the Navy. So we sat down on a Sunday and kind of laid it all out and what it would look like. And everybody was like, it's time for you to do this. So let's go ahead and let's all jump in. And it's a lot, all the stuff I haven't wanted to deal with in these past 25 years. I just wanted to be on field, call plays, not mess with any off-field stuff. But now it was, like I said, it was the right time. And I didn't want to get to a point in the career and look back and say, what if I would have done it? So that's why we decided to do it.
In the back of your mind, did you always think I want to be a head football coach? And especially at Paloma Valley, it's like, well, couldn't find a better fit maybe than the Wildcats.
Right. Yeah. But like I said, not at all. It was probably, the last couple of years that I said, maybe I need to do this and figure out if I'm any good at it. I've been with Coach Esposito so long and we've had tons of success. And I just started wondering, can I do this on my own? And this, like I said, everything fell into place. It was the right time. The family was ready. So that's how I came to the decision to take it. And, we have a really great AD that I'm looking forward to working with. And she convinced me that this was the right time as well.
Well, you mentioned you did a lot of winning with Coach Esposito at Paloma Valley prior and then at Temecula Valley. What are some of your coaching influences? Obviously, Coach Espo, I'm sure, is up on that list. But who are some other guys that maybe you've been around that you had a chance to maybe draw from a little bit and that'll impact the way you want to coach?
Coach Espo was definitely a huge influence. The first head coach I ever worked with, his name was Bob Owen, and it was in tiny little Fairview, Ohio. And I learned a ton from him on how to interact with student athletes and parents. And, Coach Tony Franklin has been a huge influence to me. And he was the OC at Cal and at Middle Tennessee. He actually recruited Chance Nolan from Paloma when I was there. And of course, Chance went on to Oregon State after that. But those guys have been the main influence for me. And I've worked with so many great assistants that I've also drawn tons of stuff from. It's just been just kind of a melting pot of ideas and, how I've structured my coaching style. And I'm excited to be in the head chair to kind of share that out and coach the coaches underneath me and build a great program.
So, Coach, as we do this interview, as we get closer to Christmas, I mean, what's the first order of business as the head football coach for Paloma Valley? Do you wait till the start of the new year and then you put together a weight room regimen? I mean, what's the first thing you can start doing to maybe feel like you're doing something to get better and improve and be ready for that first game come this fall?
Yeah, the timing is kind of, was critical to get this hire done so I could at least meet with the team one time before we went on break. So we were able to do that. I brought the team in and kind of laid out my vision and my expectations. And then I told them all, have a great break and we will get to work in January. And it's going to be a lot of work. I told them, football takes what it takes. And to be successful, it's a lot of stuff in those 8 months preparing for those 16 games that we get, the 10 guaranteed games and 6 that we have to earn. So there's going to be a lot of work that goes into that. For me now, during this break, it's just assembling a great coaching staff, a great group of men to lead those guys, and setting out the calendar from here until, that state championship game, putting everything in the calendar and just kind of working towards those and figuring out, what things we need to do and what things we don't really need to do and waste our time on, and, be as efficient as possible.
Please tell me your first guy on staff is Luis Robles, the Paloma Valley wrestling coach. He's one of my favorite guys.
Oh, you know that. He's my guy. Not only does he, is a heck of a wrestling coach, but he is probably the best receiver coach I've ever been around, or one of the best. So he was the, me and him were in there when we first got introduced to the team. So he is my right hand man. He's going to be there with me.
All right, Coach Merida, I don't have the Paloma Valley roster in front of me, but I'm assuming there is some significant seniors you're going to be losing from a team that won a league championship. They won a playoff game. You know what I mean? Like, this was a really good team. It's not like you're going into Paloma. It's like, oh, this is a rebuild. We got to build it from the ground up. Like, this is a team that had some, success last year. So of the guys coming back and the success they had last year, are you pretty optimistic of, what your goals can be going into your first season as head coach?
Well, they are graduating 35 seniors. So it is, from what I was told, it's a bit of a rebuild. I didn't really follow them too much. I was able to watch them in that last playoff game, and they played really hard. I was impressed with how hard those kids played, how physical they were. I know there's some young talent on campus. I'm told that there's 4 returning offensive linemen, and the quarterback is coming back. So that's a good nucleus there to work with. And, I've dealt with some of the freshmen. I have them in classes, and I like what I see there as far as the talent goes. And I think we'll be okay. Schedule is in our favor. And, I don't think it'll be as much as a rebuild as people say, but there will be some growing pains, of course. And, when I was first interviewed, I said, all right, how many years do I have? Do I get 3 years? Yeah. Right? Because by year 3, it should be established the way we want it to go. So, and of course the admin was totally on my side and said I had, those years that I needed, and they knew what we were going against with the 35 graduating seniors.
Yeah, and that's important, right? Like, if you're going to become a head football coach, is admin on your side? Do they have your back? Or, do they have the same expectations that you do? And they're being realistic, going into a program. So that, I'm sure that was very important to you as well when you decided to say yes.
It was super important, but of course, the message is we're going to win, and we're going to win now. Yeah. Right? It's not, with all the process that we're going to put in, the work we're going to put in, we're going to go out and be competitive. What does winning look like? We'll see. Is it being able to move the ball and stop other people at certain times? Is it going to show up on the scoreboard? For me, it's how hard the kids are going to play. If we can lay it all on the line every week and the other team is just flat out better, we will have to roll from there. But I think we will be okay.
Coach, this just popped in my head right now, and you might not have the answer to this, but do you know if Paloma would actually move up to the Ivy League for next season, or would you still be in the Sun Belt?
I believe they're still in the Sun Belt from what I've been told. Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I just wonder with the Rain Cross Conference, teams moving up and down, and Paloma Valley doing so well, if they would actually move them up, because the Ivy League was very strange this past season. A lot of teams that we thought were going to be pretty good were down, and it's been kind of wacky in the Rain Cross Conference for the Ivy League this past year. So finally, Coach, if I was going to say what is a Coach Merida team going to look like, what are you hoping to see from your Wildcats? You want to score a lot of points? You want to play fast? Do you want to run the football, play great defense? Like, how would you describe what the team might look like come this fall for you?
I'd like to play really fast and be really physical. And as we found out in years past, it takes scoring points, but to win a championship, you have to play great defense and you have to be able to run the ball and stop the run. So, we've scored a ton of points in the past in my Paloma Valley days, and we haven't been as successful in the playoffs because we didn't play the brand of defense that we needed to at times. But I think that is going to be the main focus, and that was my focus with the team. I've been an OC all these years. I love scoring points, but make no mistake about it. To win a championship, you need a great defense.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the gig. I couldn't think of a better guy to take over the Wildcats program. So, congrats on the gig. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas with your family, and then I'm sure you'll hit the ground running come January 2023.
Yes, sir. Thank you, and Merry Christmas to you. And I look forward to working with you a bunch.
All right, Coach, congratulations. Juan Merida, the new head football coach for the Paloma Valley Wildcats here on the Inland Sports Show. Inland Sports.